What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Pac-12 football channel. Utah was able to win the Pac-12 South in 2019, and an easy schedule, I think, had a lot to do with that. I mean, I think they were the best team in the Pac-12 South, but the schedule definitely helped them out. They didn't have to play Oregon out of the North. It didn't really affect their chances at getting to the Pac-12 Championship, but they had an easy non-conference schedule as well. BYU, the most challenging game there. And yeah, Utah has had some pretty soft schedules. We have yet to see this team really go out and schedule a big non-conference game. They played Michigan. They played Michigan here a while back, but I'd like to see them maybe get out and play another big opponent like that. Let's take a look at this 2020 schedule, and as you see, they do not do that again this season. They will open up the season at home against BYU on September the 3rd. That'll be a Thursday night to kick off the season. Big game there, of course, a rivalry. They're going to play them every year. But maybe you add in another game. I get it, though. I mean, with 9 conference games, if you play BYU and then you play another big opponent, it makes for a pretty difficult schedule. But let's look at the rest of the schedule here. September 12th, they'll play Montana State at home, an FCS opponent. And then Wyoming on September 19th on the road. That could be a tricky game on the road. Who knows? But those will be the first 3 games of the season. Then they'll move on to Pac-12 play, where they play on the road at Cal on September 26th. I think this Cal team could be pretty good this year. Could be a tough test there. Follow that up with USC at home. USC maybe the early favorite in the South. Of course, Utah just won the South, but they lost a lot of production, so I don't know if you would consider them the favorite. So Cal, then Washington, then on the road at Washington State. How will they look without Mike Leach? That'll be interesting. And then you have Washington at home on October 17th. Washington might be down a little bit, so I think a good shot for Utah to win that game. And then on October 29th, they'll play on the road at UCLA. That will be a Thursday night game. So their bye week comes between Washington and UCLA. That'll be a tough game. I mean, we talk about it all the time, these Thursday, Friday night games. It's tough to go on the road and win them. The good news for Utah, it's not a short week. They get the bye week before that game, and I think that'll give them a real good shot there on October 29th. Then into the month of November, they'll play Arizona at home. Follow that up on November 14th with Oregon State at home. And then to close out the year, they'll play on the road at Arizona State on November 21st, and then on the road at Colorado on November 28th. So you scan through this schedule, and you see, once again, no Oregon. You see, once again, a weak non-conference schedule. So that sets them up to have potentially another really good year. Now, are they going to be as good as they were last year? Maybe not. But the schedule, anyways, I think it gives them a shot to have a good season. And even if they take a big drop-off as far as how good this team is with the schedule, you'd still at least expect them to get to a bowl game, even if they weren't very good, just because, again, the schedule is not bad at all. Road games against Cal, Washington State, UCLA, Arizona State, and Colorado, at least road games in the conference. Play Wyoming on the road as well. So they do have 5 road games, only 4 home games, but a couple of the bigger conference games are USC and Washington, and those are both at home. So I think that does set them up in a pretty good spot. That game against Cal is going to be tough on September 26th. That one jumps out, especially those back-to-back, Cal and USC back-to-back. I think that if they can somehow win both of those games, then you're going to talk about Utah as being, potentially a top 10, top 15 team again. If they lose those 2 games, you're going to be talking about this team probably not in the top 25 at all. So again, the schedule really not that tough, very similar to what they had last year. Last year they were able to win the Pac-12 South. Can they do that again in 2020?